All right, welcome back. You know, summertime means good food and good friends to share it with. So why enjoy just a regular old hamburger when you can have a magnificent Head and Country hamburger? Hey, we've got Paul Schatte. How you doing,
Hey,
Paul?
I'm doing fine, Paul.
I tell you what, you do have a magnificent hamburger, and I want to tell the folks at home, there's nothing wrong with your TV set. Paul Schatte's about 6'4", okay? So, anyway, hey, Paul, you've got some great stuff. I'm a big fan of Head Country barbecue sauce.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan because it's great sauce, and you know what you're doing, man. You've won all kinds of awards and all kinds. I mean, really.
Thank you.
Paul has won all kinds of awards with his cooking, but we're getting a little bit back to basics, right?
Yes, we are. You know, a good hamburger is a staple of the grilling season.
Right.
And so we have some perfect ingredients with our sauce, marinade, seasoning to add with a few other things in the meat. And then what I really enjoy about cooking these hamburgers is I kind of am nostalgic about cooking. And
who taught you how to cook?
You know, a lot of people in my life did. Grandparents, mom and dad, you know, different things like that. And so when I make these hamburgers, I like to kind of go back a little bit and draw back on some of those experiences that I had growing up as a kid. And so I use a crock bowl that Grandma gave me.
See, I was educated. I didn't realize it was called a crock. You know, I've heard of crock pot, but this is where it came from, a crock bowl.
That's right. You know, there were people used to make pickles and crocks, you know, different things like that. It's the material that the bowl or the crock is made out of. But like I said, this brings back a lot of memories for me. So when I make my hamburgers, I always use this bowl.
You just do it. It's sort of like a ritual.
Yeah. And my wife Shelly, I said, I'm taking the bowl. She said, don't break it. Make sure you bring it back. You know.
Right. So like a baseball player does the same kind of routine when.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know? So what we've got here is a pound of lean hamburger meat, 80-20. And sometimes if the meat doesn't want to stick together real well when you're putting it together.
That is my problem. What do you do?
I'll put an egg in there. And that helps add a little moisture, but also binds things together. All right? But so we put our seasoning in here, and we've got the recipe on the website, you know, on Great Day SA. So we got our seasoning, putting a little green onion in there. You could also put salsa in there if you want to. Kind of adds different things, but we're putting green onion in there this morning. And then we take a 1/4 cup of our premium marinade. Oh, excellent. And that gives it a little moisture.
Now, Paul, we can get that at the stores here, right?
Yes, you can. And the marinade you're going to get online at headcountry.com.
Headcountry.com.
Right. But the seasoning and the barbecue sauces you can find locally.
I have not tried that marinade, but I'm going to go online and go and try that out.
And then you can take whichever flavor of barbecue sauce you want to try, but I'm going to use the original because I know you like sweet things. Yeah. So we're going to add that. And then you got to get down dirty.
Insert joke there. Okay, all right.
And then you got to just really start mashing all this together real good. And one thing that Dad and Grandma told me, when you think you're about done kneading this meat together, then you're really just getting started because you really want it to bind together.
What is it? Okay, the more you knead it, the more it binds together.
Yes, you know, the fat that's in here plus the warmth of your hands mashing it together and things like that will help that stick together. And so you just really want to look at it as you're working it through, making sure that you get all the things that you added in there distributed throughout so that every time you take a bite, you're tasting everything, you know, all the ingredients that you put in the hamburger.
So if you've got a hamburger that's kind of falling apart a little bit, it's because they didn't love it enough.
That's right. Exactly. You're exactly right. So and you can do the same thing with a meatloaf. You know, follow the same recipe.
I bet you that makes a heck of a meatloaf.
It makes a real good meatloaf. And then the one thing I would do with meatloaf, the last 20 minutes while it's baking in the oven is pull it out and glaze the top with barbecue sauce. And that'll kind of caramelize on top. Thicken a little bit.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. So
good tip.
Anyway, so we got that there.
Well, let me try it. So you do all that. Of course, you put it in the you put it in the fan.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Let me try this real quick.
Here's your fork. Right here.
All right.
Give that a whirl and see what you think.
As usual. As usual, that's fantastic. Okay, very quickly, you can go to headcountry.com. And Paul, tell us real quick what's happening at the tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening, you can watch us at the Alamo Dome with Hunter Extravaganza. We'll have the Ken's 5 Backyard Barbecue there, but we're going to be feeding the masses there. But we invite everybody to come out. All right.
Paul,
thank you.
Excellent job again. I tell you what, if you have not tried Head Country, try it today. Fantastic.